And when looking on the Bureau's website for an address of the shop, it was listed at 1048 South Carr Avenue. Well, we came by here and all we saw was an old yoga studio. For the last 2 seasons in Captain Faircloth's business, he's had to take folks through the Charlotte River Inlet or through the Cape Fear River. Well, he's looking forward to seeing one of the busiest summers through the Lockwood Folly Inlet in years. NCDOT plans to close down the Barbie Bridge for rehab work by mid-October of this year, going through Easter of 2019, a closure that has many on both sides of the island anxious. People I heard from who say they knew Graham and worked with him on his crusades would say that he would actually not want all of this attention on the day of his death, that he would want to be simply laid to rest as is expected to be done here at the Billy Graham Library. Well, Randy, here's an idea of how powerful this boat was as it came on shore here in Southport. This is the T-top of the boat, the fishing boat, the 26-foot vessel here. It is completely ripped off of that boat that was towed away a couple hours ago. But as a result of that crash, law enforcement tell me that at least 4 folks were taken to the hospital, police saying one of them critical, maybe a broken leg, according to what I hear from neighbors. Well, I walked over to the burial site where Reverend Billy Graham will be laid to rest here at the library alongside his late wife. And the people I talked to over there simply just wanted to share thanks. In this city council race, it's a given that we're expecting to see incumbents Rivenbark and O'Grady possibly win re-election, but it's that third critical seat. A minute ago, it was Deb Hayes jumping Clifford Barnett, but now it's Barnett back on top. So that's really still up in the air. What is not up in the air is the re-election of Wilmington Mayor Bill Sappho. Well, man, you know there's that age-old debate whether it's are you for the dark side or the way of the Jedi, but there's no debating that folks were pumped to see Star Wars The Last Jedi here at the Point. They've waited for this.
I'm very excited for this. I mean, you know they're going to do it, but at the same time, you want it.
They've trained for this. They've dressed for this.
A lot of these are actually shower curtains. I'm pretty sure these are sheets, and these are both curtains. These are just some generic women's pants.
And they want answers.
Definitely want to find out who Rey's father is.
Even though some of them are playing catch-up.
So I was looking forward to Han Solo until she told me in the car on the way over that Han Solo is not in this one.
Either way, it's a night these Force seekers will remember. They are a part of hundreds getting the early seats to see Star Wars The Last Jedi. The driving force to get these early spots will being the first to answer the looming question, who is Rey's dad?
We actually have a pretty sweet theory. We think Luke hooked up with Obi-Wan's daughter.
Answers or not, there was no other option but to see it as soon as tickets came out.
I want to avoid spoilers because if I'm going to go on social media tomorrow and I don't want to see who her father is before I know.
An unsafe day.
Actually, with the incidences last night and today, I've actually been fairly surprised.
Turns into an even more unsafe night.
I've experienced a lot of snow. This ice is pretty brutal.
Icy roads have kept the DOT public crews as well as law enforcement busy after winter weather blanketed the Cape Fear. When someone is stuck in the snow, well, they need a tow. That's why we decided to join Bullard's Towing on a call.
The road's too icy and it just keeps spinning tires.
That's what was happening to John Eager. Red Cross Street, well, that was more like an ice rink, and he'll be the one to tell you that.
Once I lost traction, it was anybody's game at that point. The car turned sideways and just started rolling, kind of literally sliding back down the hill.
The first of many calls Wes Green is expecting tonight.
By the time we got done with that one, we got 2 more, so it's probably going to be busy.
Well, the DOT hopes it is not a busy night for Green.
The best thing that they could do is try to stay off the roadways if they don't absolutely have to be out.
During the day, the snow turned to water, and now the water will turn to black ice.
Try to keep off the roads, because they're not going to get any better.
Now, several places are still expected to be closed come Friday morning, so if you do have to be out anywhere, try and be out when the sun comes up, as these roads are still very much frozen over. All those lists of closings and any kind of delays, well, Amanda will have more of that for you guys later on in the broadcast. For now, we're live in downtown Wilmington. Andrew James, WWAY News. Well, Amanda, she cannot vote for either candidate, but she's fed up. Now, we've heard from candidates in Pender County dealing with the same issue, but this Castle Hayne business owner agrees that the thefts, well, they need to come to an end. This is not the first time Dolores Swope has had to put these signs in front of her resale store along 117. She's making sure, though, it will hopefully be the last.
The fact that somebody took the sign, that bothers me.
Swope has had to put out a total of 6 signs. They're for John Bauer, who's one of 3 Democratic candidates for State House District 20. Well, that's because she says the last 4 have all been stolen.
Yeah, they were gone this morning.
Swope herself cannot be swayed by any candidate. She lives in Pender County.
Anybody is welcome to put their sign up.
She does not know who is taking the signs, but she says what is not welcome is theft, no matter the intent.
These look like small elections, but they're big elections because they're here to serve the people.
Talking to the candidate himself, these are not the only signs he's lost, but he's looking on the brighter side of things.
You got to laugh at it. I mean, you just got to replace the signs, put them out there. Hopefully your name gets out there and hopefully people will vote for you.
Swope is not laughing and plans to keep her eyes now taped to those signs.
If you take a sign today, I don't know what you're going to take tomorrow.
It's amazing how quick the time went. I mean, I've been here for 6 years, and it doesn't seem like it's been 6 years. It's just flew, you know.
In those 6 years, Gerald Thompson has not only been a bus driver, but a guardian for the kids of Bus 248.
That's what, gets me up in the morning.
Following his military retirement, Thompson and his wife moved to North Carolina to take care of his dad. Eventually, his job search landed him in the Pender County school system.
I never, in my wildest dreams, thought I would drive a bus. I was quite intimidated initially.
Parents like Kristen Tortorisi see him as more than the man who gets her kids to school and back.
He knows all of his kids' names. He waves to all the parents. If there's an issue, he reaches out to the parents.
He also found creative ways to keep the kids well behaved on the bus.
I'll tell you what, if you guys can stay in your seats, I will make sure I get something special for you. And they got to choose their own kind of candy they liked. They got their own medal. I have a medal with my picture on and everything on the back. It says, thanks for being great on Bus 248.
It's the last time he will do that, though. You see, Thompson is retiring and moving with his wife and grandson to take care of her family.
I wanted to do whatever I could to support him on his next endeavor.
Tortorisi, along with other parents of Route 248, have collected more than $1,000 to help Thompson's family.
We want to thank him for everything that he's done. Again, as a retired service member, thank him for his service to our country, and wish him and his family well into retirement.
It's their way of saying to Mr. Thompson that you did great for the kids of Bus 248.
I'm really grateful to all the parents, that are involved and just the community in general.
This is Peyton Fields, the 5-year-old who liked to dance and loved the beach. This past summer, though, was her last.
She was always happy, going. And to see that done is hurtful.
I have a 5-year-old that was brought in.
On November 13th, a 911 call from Pender Memorial Hospital. The nurse describing Peyton's injuries.
Strongly appears to be strangulation marks on her neck.
2 days later, little Peyton died. On November 29th, Peyton's biological father and relatives spoke to WWAY about the investigation into her death.
We just need some type of answer, some type of closure.
Her father told us problems with both him and the child's mother led a judge to put Peyton in this home. The Pender County Sheriff's Office says Peyton was living with her maternal grandmother as well as her sister here at this home on Blackwater Drive in Willard. We went to the address, but family members told us that the grandmother had already moved after Peyton's death. The family also told us days after laying Peyton to rest here at a Lumberton cemetery, they were not getting any answers about her death.
We don't want to let everyone forget about our little Peyton. Peyton needs justice. We need justice.
A few days ago, we sat down with Pender County Sheriff Carson Smith.
They're working this as hard as they can because it's a 5-year-old that we need to find justice for, and we're going to do all we can to do that.
Investigators say they believe Peyton was raped and strangled, but after 82 days, still no arrests.
It remains a very active case. It hit all of us hard here too, as it did the community.
The week after I spoke to the family, public information on this case was becoming scarce. We requested the search warrant on the home. Hours after our request, though, a judge sealed it. Hi, I'm calling for Dr. Prost. The state medical examiner's office gave me the contact for the person who performed Peyton's autopsy. My calls never got a response. Earlier, we were only told North Carolina law gives them up to 6 months to complete an autopsy. And after just under 3, the sheriff's office says it still has not received any completed autopsy report. So we tried one last place for answers.
There was one case from Pender County where they said, put a rush on it.
Attorney General Josh Stein says one day after Peyton died, the sheriff's office requested a rush on her rape kit. Now, we pressed the sheriff's office several times for updates on the kit as well as the autopsy. No updates, other than they were waiting on the results.
We turned around 2 tests within 2 months.
Our investigation uncovered that the 2 tests on Fields' rape kit are now complete. One completed on December 7th and the other one done January 12th.
There's just some things we just can't share as things go, and we want to be able to tell the community more.
Now, Sheriff Smith made it clear they do not want to make every detail public.
It's not something that we're saying nothing's happening. It's something that we actively are working on. I'll say this, before we charge anybody for anything, we've got to be sure we are done and we have what we need.
Rape kit results, if you have those yet or not.
I'd rather not. I'm not just talking to, I'm talking to everybody right now.
Yeah.
And it's an investigation that is ongoing, and I just don't want to let anything out right now to let anybody know where we are, because we really, we want to resolve this.